I like the end as
Hello,
it's all
everyone.
feathery away.
Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And please help me welcome Cleo of Cleo the Seer and Sherry of Voices from the Swamp. And welcome to Golden Girls Coffee Klatch. So, you, Judy would be here with us, but she's a little under the weather. And I think she might have whatever
Whatever
cold
this
is going
this crap was
around.
going around. Yeah.
Yes.
My grandmother used to call it the creeping crud because it creeps up on you and makes you feel like crud.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, that
So,
works.
yeah, absolutely. So we hope that she's feeling better soon and whatnot. On on a bright note, however, her grandbaby is getting set to go home either today or tomorrow.
Wow.
We'll
So
be home
that
for
is,
Christmas.
yeah,
Yay!
that is absolutely fabulous. So
Yeah.
yes,
And a head full of red hair too. I swear. That
nice.
baby is something else. It's like, oh yeah, it takes after his mama.
Uh-huh. There you go. There you go. So very, very quickly, hello, butterflies are free. We've got Erin Calzada, Wood Sprite, K. Muldoon, Manx Girl, Maureen D'Amico, Jane McKessie, Artist Liz, Cheryl Manolo, Waween, Red Gypsy, Teresa Tea Garden Chicken, Barb Fisher, Tapioca Thievery, hello, Karen. Um, Barb Pfister, sorry. Laura Kraft. I think that's everyone so far that has joined us. Anna Greenwich, Don Turner. Hello, thank you for spending part of your evening with us. Appreciate it all. So, hope you're all having a wonderful holiday season and whatnot. So, Cleo, what's happening with you?
Just getting ready for the holidays, and I might be doing something tomorrow with my sister and Val. They're doing a three eye atlas show.
Yes.
Um, and that comes on at like 4:30. Might be doing that. Then again, I might be unable to do it because of all the other activities that are going on. And after that, it's really kind of the week of Christmas is pretty much wiped out as far as YouTube goes because of the
Yeah.
holidays. Um, so yeah, not doing a whole heck of a lot.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. It's a
Absolutely.
time of year when we can slow down. Yeah. And how about you, Sherry? What's happening with you?
Well, I'm having my members only live stream tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Central Time. And then Saturday, I got Valerie from Illumination Portal that's going to be
Uh-huh.
on. First, we're going to talk about the Sagittarius new moon and the winter solstice, which all hits about like within a day or two of each other. And then of course I'm gonna pop in for Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot's 5K party that he finally
Yes.
hit 5K. It's like yay!
Yes.
And then the slumber party with Ramon tomorrow night, Saturday night, and I'm like a little over a 500 away from hitting my 10,000.
Nice.
So come on, people.
Yay!
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent.
Go like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, it's
Yes,
free.
absolutely. So yeah, I apologize. I had to put a halls into my mouth because I could feel the little things in the throat going wonky. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
hmm, anyway, tomorrow I don't have a whole lot that's happening tomorrow. Um, I do have a couple readings set up, but on Saturday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I've got the lovely Trish James who is joining me again, and look forward to hearing what she's got in the works. I know she's working on a couple different decks. One of them I had a chance to to see it being used. So, something else that I'll have to acquire. And and then that's kind of it for this week. The big Shine Your Light event is on Saturday, December 27th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 4:30 Mountain Standard Time. And I've
Actually
checked out.
available that Saturday.
Hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm actually available that Saturday.
yeah. So we've got great things that are happening, that are going on, and yeah, it's fabulous. So are we ready to get a little?
And before I forget, real quick, Diana Bowles, also known as Oil Painter, is having hip replacement surgery tomorrow.
Is she?
Yes,
Are you sure?
that's
Because
according to Valerie. That's the information Valerie gave me. That she
okay,
was having her hip replacement surgery on Friday the 19th. So, because I wrote it in my book, what she told me,
okay,
so I wouldn't
good,
forget.
good. Yeah, because I heard yesterday. I heard that no, that they canceled it on her.
Oh, now that may have happened. I haven't
So
talked to Valerie in over a week, so
yeah.
I'll have to
So
double check. And
if the surgery happens, yes, we're going to keep we're going to keep Diana in our thoughts and prayers and whatnot. And if for some reason it had to be postponed or canceled, well, then we're going to hope that there's a good reason for that.
yeah,
But I know she's been waiting for this for quite some time.
yeah, absolutely.
So, Marina, how do you become Dorothy?
Oh, well, I'll tell you how. By not paying attention. That's how. Hold on.
Somebody's trying to cheat.
Uh-huh.
Trying to take my thing, trying to take
I know.
steal my identity.
Yes, totally. The nerve. Hold on. And Sophia, there we go. All right. There we go.
Yay.
Yeah, that feels better. Yeah. So one of the things that I heard about earlier today, and I just kind of rolled my eyes, was that apparently the board at the Kennedy Center has decided to rename the Kennedy Center the Trump Kennedy Center.
Yeah. There's this, and we talked about this last time, and I told they had a whole different name that was just so
Yeah.
stupid. Now he's trying to blend himself into that. On the other hand, I
Well, of
thought,
course, his name has to go first.
yeah, Trump Kennedy, and I'm looking at the board thinking, okay, these guys are just like, Jesus, this is stupid, ridiculous in the first place. But once he's gone, all you got to do is take off the Trump.
Yes.
He wanted to change the whole, I can't remember now what it was, but it was
It's some ridiculous name. Yeah. I don't
yeah, some
remember now.
ridiculous name. And so, yeah, this is just, he's just disgusting. He just,
I know.
and
know.
I hate to even bring it up, but this thing with Rob Reiner and his wife being murdered.
Oh.
It's
And
just been
Trump-
on all of our minds.
Yeah, really. And the first thing that Trump says is somehow brings it around to himself, this Trump derangement syndrome, that somebody just didn't like what Rob Reiner had to say. And it ends up, it's just, the thing with Rob Reiner and his wife is so sad. It's just killing me. I
It
mean,
is.
it just, that his own son,
The
Yes.
whole
more than
family. I mean,
like,
the other
likely
son
did
and
this.
daughter. It was the daughter that found them.
Yes, yes. Oh God, this is just
It's like,
horrible.
how horrible is that?
Yes.
And then to find out that your youngest brother was responsible. I mean, I know I saw Malcolm Nance on the Stephanie Miller show, because when I found out about it, it was like that night. And so the next morning, I made sure I watched Stephanie Miller because I knew she was good friends with the Reiners. And
Yeah.
Malcolm was one of her first guests, and he was talking about. He says, actually, he says the last time that I had dinner with him, Rob had contacted me and said, next time you're in LA, give us a buzz. We'll have dinner.
Yes.
And Malcolm says, and he says, and when he says, you say that like you would with any friends, but then when you think about it, it's like, how the hell did I become good friends with Rob Reiner that he's like calling me saying, next time you're in town, give me a
Yeah.
buzz, we'll go have dinner. And he's like, it's still mind boggling. But he said that that particular night they talked about the youngest son and that he and his wife were very distraught and very upset, and they were at their wits' end. They didn't know what else to do for him. They had been trying to get him into rehab and whatnot. And so
Yeah.
evidently this is something that's been building for a while.
Oh
And
yeah, for many
for
years
all, yeah,
actually.
many years, and for all the dipshits, pardon my language, but who had to put out there, well, bad parenting, blah blah blah. It's like you obviously have no idea what it is to have someone you care about with an addiction,
Right.
and
Exactly.
how difficult it is to try to deal with that and help them when they don't want to be helped.
Well, it sounds like there's also
Yes.
mental illness. So
Yes.
Yeah.
those two things combined, that's just a real dangerous combination, and it's it's the most horrible thing. You know, I and then when Trump did his little thing, I'm like,
Oh
God,
God,
you're
that
an
made
idiot.
me so angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
It
had,
really
I mean,
did.
we've said this before. He has got to be the bride at every wedding, the deceased at every funeral, the birthday boy at every party. It it always has to be all about him.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the idea that, yeah, this tragedy, and you're going to comment on, um,
This
bringing up
is
that
such a
drunk
horrendous thing. Yeah.
derangement syndrome and so on. Honestly, honestly, folks, I think that he is, and by that, entertainment purposes only, I mean Trump. I think he is on his way out, and we are seeing the
Absolutely.
last of um, the fighting to whatever, so that, yeah, even with the Kennedy Center, it's kind of like, yeah,
Yeah.
give the idiot what he wants, because before the ink is dry, he's going to be transitioned. He's not going to be around, and then we can just tear up the paperwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And now you've got a judge, a couple of federal judges that have both are making them pull all of the paperwork, whatnot, for the ballroom. And there's a really good chance that they're going to tell them, you got to tear it down because that's not legal what you're doing.
Yes,
You don't have the proper funding, and it's not within
permits.
the scope of the building, and blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah. I have a feeling they're going to tell him it's got to come down. He's going to lose his poop when that happens. I mean, big time. Um,
and
I've
it
been
it
trying not
couldn't
to
happen
curse
to a
y'all
nicer
because this
guy.
whole mess this week is like it just been flowing out of my mouth. I
Well,
know.
and then the thing about the what's his name, Hegseth or
Except,
whatever.
yeah,
Hedgehog is what Linda G calls him. I like
Yes,
that better. And
yeah,
so, that what has happened out there is illegal. It's murder. It's not. It
yes,
has nothing to do with war. It has nothing to do with protecting the country from
nothing.
drugs coming into the country. They don't.
no, they
I
want the
have yet
minerals.
to see. I have yet to see one package of cocaine or whatever it is that they're supposedly
Yeah,
doing, when we
Yeah,
all
'cause
know that most of these people are just fishermen and they're just being murdered. And so, what does Trump say about that? He said, "Well, you can't say anything to me about that because I'm immune." So
yeah,
he thinks that he'll let Pete Hedgehog go ahead and take the brunt of this, and
oh
you
yeah,
know
absolutely.
he,
he's going to take the ball.
yeah, and he's going to get in trouble. I mean, this is
Well,
definitely just a stupid, horrible another thing that they're doing. It's just
Yes,
craziness, and Trump is just such a complete idiot. He is not totally immune as much as he likes to think he is. He is not. He you
No,
know, he said
he
years
can be
ago,
held accountable.
yeah, he can't be held accountable. And like
Yeah,
he said that he could go out on Fifth Avenue in New York, shoot somebody, and nobody would do anything about it. And that was before the Supreme Court granted him this superpower. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just that's nonsense. No, you can't. That's not. They're talking about the things that you do for your job. Now, is it your job to go out and murder people, or to at least tell Pete Hedgehog to go ahead and do it?
exactly. You give the order, and ultimately, if you're not the one that gave the order, then how, why did you not jump on him the first time with the first boat and said, "Who authorized this? It wasn't me. You're gone." So he can
Yeah.
say all
And
he
he's done
wants.
just the opposite.
Yeah,
Totally supports him,
yeah,
and he says he's doing a fine job.
It's
yeah.
exactly what he did on January 6th. He sat in that dining room watching it on TV as his people tore the Capitol apart and
Yeah.
didn't once reach over and pick up his phone and say, "Hey, I need the National Guard over here right now because
It's
things
out
are
of
getting
hand.
out of hand." No, he didn't do that. He sat there and let it keep going. It
Exactly.
took
Yeah, he was
it
going to
took
see what
his
the outcome
daughter,
was.
I don't know how long, to talk him into saying something to call them off.
Yes,
Um, and then what he do? He turned around and he pardoned all of them, gave them badges, and turned them into ICE agents. I mean,
yeah.
Well, and all these lies that he said about Biden and all these lies, his latest thing, he comes on TV. I didn't see it. I couldn't even find it on TV. I don't know where it
well,
was, but
last night I didn't even watch. It was
Oh,
or night
the
before
State of
last.
the Union.
this
Yeah,
well,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not really a State of the Union, and because they said it came across more like a rallying speech, and it wasn't really a State of the Union. It's just him
yeah.
talking about all the great things he's done, that the economy is so good, and he's even got people believing that the economy is good. The
Yes.
people that don't believe it are the people like me. I go to the store, I see what's happening with the prices. He lied about every single thing that
Of course.
that he's boasting that he did, stopping wars and bringing the prices down. And hey, the price of gas went down. So if the price of gas went down, I guess that affected everything. But, and,
Yeah.
no, it hasn't happened enough like that. He is
yeah.
ruining the country. He's throwing us into bankruptcy. People are losing their jobs, and the job market is not good. And I mean, on one hand, you'll read an article about, no, we're not getting a whole bunch of new jobs. And then on the next article, you'll see him saying, hey, the job market's up. Look at the wonderful things I have done. No,
Yeah.
he has not done wonderful things. He's a liar. He always has been. He always will be. You can't believe a word that he says. And how
Well,
dare he say some of, why is he continually lying? I mean, it's going to catch up to
he
him.
doesn't
It
know.
already
He
He
is.
doesn't
doesn't know
know
any other
anything
way to
else.
be. It's according to Mary Trump. That's
Yeah.
been the status quo his whole life. Was he's a perpetual liar, uh,
Yeah.
and
He
his
believes
father
everything that
encouraged
comes
it.
out of his mouth. He believes it to be true, and you
Yeah.
cannot convince him otherwise because
Because he's a
that's all.
nutcase. He's a complete
Yes,
nutcase.
yes, that he is. That he is. And yeah, I think that you know well, one of the first things that he did was he started off by saying good evening America. A year ago I inherited a mess.
And yeah, and
No,
he inherited the best he, he got handed a
yes,
great economy,
just
people
like he
going
did the
back to
first
work.
time
Yes,
when
just like,
Obama handed it to him.
yeah, and hey,
So
he continually says this crap about Biden, but more and more people, even some of the politicians now, are saying, you know what? No, that's really not the way it went. Uh,
exactly.
you had a good something good that somebody else had created. And a lot of these things that if anything does come out good, Biden was the one that created it in the first place.
First place.
So
Exactly.
yeah, the ongoing lies and stuff, and yeah, I know I hear that he's going to be out of there, but God, he just can't get out of there soon enough, and
I
I
know.
can't wait to see how this happens. I know a lot of people are thinking like maybe even in well, a lot of people were thinking now, but
Yes, by now.
maybe in February or something, and you know,
Whenever it happens, we are all going to gather, and we are honestly, I think we're going to hear each other across the border because it's going to be a massive, massive celebration. Not, not that we ever wish ill on anyone, but some people's obituaries are going to be very
Celebrate it.
interesting reading. Yeah.
well, you're assuming he's not on the planet anymore. I'm assuming he's just not in office. Uh,
Mm,
I don't predict things like somebody dying, um, but I do predict somebody leaving office. That's all I'm concerned about. How he does it, I don't care. But
Yeah, just get the hell out
just
and
get the
take
hell out.
the
Exactly.
Maybelline Queen with you when you go. I mean,
yes.
he's no better. So,
Well,
Yeah.
and I think that is part of the problem. I mean, how are you going to get JD Vance out of there and not let him? Hey, he might be in there for a few moments. I just don't think it's going to last.
No, no, he doesn't have the cult of personality that Trump does.
Well, and
Um,
he supported everything that Trump
yeah.
did, and everything that Trump is doing is actually illegal. So
Yes.
that would make him illegal, and he would also face the consequences. Like if we're
yeah,
just assuming that everybody is still alive and on the planet, and they could face the consequences. I do kind of see that because this thing about him running to another country and kind of running away from it all, that has been coming up for over 2 years, way
Yeah.
before he ever got into office. So I'm thinking when you hear something like that over and over again, I think that's
Yeah.
really what's going to happen eventually.
And you know what? If that is the case, and he flees to another country, bye. Do- You know,
don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
yeah, it's it's totally okay. It's totally okay. Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Now we had Red Gypsy who said, "How about that Susan Wiles?"
Yes,
Susan
yes.
Brown.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what she's up to. On one minute, I like what she's saying, and
Yeah,
then she kind of backs off a little bit. I mean, she's pretty close to Trump, right? So she cannot just come right out and say, this is nonsense. We should not really be following what this guy tells us to do.
yep.
But she can't really say it that way. But yeah, I liked it that she did come out the way she did, which surprised me because I'm not a fan of hers.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of self protection on her part. I think that she the interview, quote unquote interview, was an event that happened over like 9 months. It wasn't something that it was a series of conversations. Now
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, she might have assumed that because the author of the article is a good friend of hers, that a lot of what she was saying was off the record, and so she was being a little more truthful than um, what she would have been otherwise. And Sherry, you okay?
Yeah,
Oh, you just kind of
yeah,
froze.
yeah,
Okay, I just had somebody said, "Is Sherry okay?"
yeah. I think I froze up there for a minute. I
Yeah.
was like I could hear y'all, but it was kind of
Nothing.
garbled. My computer's been like acting freaky the last few days. Some
Yeah.
of my affirmations and stuff in the morning when I've listened back to them, it's like the first minute it's like what the hell is going on? And then when I try to watch something, it's like I'm freezing up every few minutes. So I don't know. Lewis is going to help me pull it all apart this weekend and clean it all out and see. I don't know if the cats have just wiggled wires loose to where they're connected, but
Yes.
not quite
Not,
all the
yeah.
way, or if it's just full of cat hair in there. I don't know,
Could
or
be.
both. You know,
Yeah. Could be.
you
So
know.
yeah, back to Susie Wiles. I think that
Yes,
it
she's a
feels to me
trip.
like she was honest in those in the initial interview.
Yeah,
When it came out, I think she was a little surprised at the um,
how honest she
how
was.
yeah, how honest she was. So now she has to walk it back because don't forget, Trump likes her. Trump really, really likes her. She's got to worry about her job.
Yeah,
She's got to worry about, where does she go from here, as do a lot of the other people that are in the administration. So yeah, oh, I was misquoted. I was yet misquoted what, 11 times over 9 months? Really? That tells me that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how to control your speech.
But Marina, I think what you said about her kind of trying to protect her own backside, that rings true to me. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
thinking I hadn't thought about it
absolutely.
before, but yeah, that she's probably thinking things are not looking good and things could go down, and where does she want to be in the mix? So,
Exactly. And not only that, but look, if she if she stays kind of in the middle, you know, yeah, I know I said that, but I was misquoted. You didn't understand. If things go against him, she can say, well, I tried to raise the flag. I did say,
I did try to
there's
warn you.
yeah, I did try to warn you. If things go the other way, then she could say, well, I tried to clear it up. I tried to tell you that I was misquoted and whatnot. That's a kind of personality that is sometimes very, very difficult to come to terms with because it's a little nefarious. And most of us don't think that way. So to
Yeah,
us, it feels like so for how could you do that? But to the people that are involved in that, lying is second nature.
yeah, they're so used to lying with every little thing
Yes.
that, and as the old adage is so true,
Yes.
it's not the lie, it's remembering all the lies to cover up the lie
Yes.
that you originally
Exactly.
started with. And eventually you forget who you told what lie to and how you put it. And
Yes.
that's usually what trips people up. It's like,
Exactly.
um,
Exactly.
but
Thank
yeah,
you,
and so
Susan
like in
Rosella. It's very kind and generous of you. Mwah. Much
yeah,
love
yeah.
to you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. So
Sorry.
Innocent Potato said she's walking a very thin line. Yeah,
Yes.
she really is.
well,
Yeah.
they all are for those who work really closely with him. I mean, not only do they have to deal with this tub of lard on a day to
Yes.
day basis, up close and personal, where they can smell everything on top of it.
Yes.
Um, but I mean, could you imagine having to go to work and smell that every day? Just like, that's why I got out of the medical field. I got tired of being pooped and peed and puked on. It's
Yes.
you only take it for so many years when you go like, I'm done with this.
Yes.
Enough's enough. But
Yeah.
it's like, and at the same time, it feels like there are people who are like, they want to tell the truth. It's like they really want us to know what's going on. But then the minute they say it, they start backtracking it because, oops, I let the cat out of the bag.
Yes.
Well, it's so
And
risky for them to do that because it's not just
no,
them that could pay the price, it's their families. And
Yes.
that keeps coming up more and more and more where everybody's go, why aren't the Democrats doing something? Well, because they're under threat. So but now,
yeah,
like right now they are. They are coming out more and trying to do something.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah. And even some of the GOP are, yeah, they're at
yeah,
least they're
yes,
starting to speak up.
absolutely. Yes, the GOP as well because they're kind of they're starting to say, no, I think it's going to be okay to speak up and say something. Marjorie Taylor Greene may have led this, which is
Yes.
just, I'm amazed I'm saying that. but she may have been the one that said, "Hey, no, I have backed him up 1,000%, and then he calls me a traitor." And she goes,
Exactly.
"I'm stepping out. I'm stepping down." And I know
Yeah.
she probably is going to try to run for another office, and I'm not I'm not a fan of hers at
No.
all,
No.
but I am glad that
No,
she
she's
did what
not to
she
be
did.
trusted, but
But she's kind of letting the other people know you can
Yes.
get away with this, and it's not the end of the world. You're not going to be
well,
assassinated.
the
Yes.
good point is we had four Republicans who crossed the aisle and joined the Democrats to try
Hmm.
to get the subsidies for the Affordable Care Act passed.
Yeah, it
Yes.
didn't work
And
though.
of course it didn't go the way they wanted it to go, but that was still a pretty big step of faith that they took to step
Absolutely.
out against everything. And of course, you got the speaker who's busy running down the halls as fast as his little legs can carry him because he doesn't want to answer any questions, you
Oh,
know.
and he's losing control. And the first thing he
Oh,
said the other day
absolutely.
was he's no, I haven't lost control. I haven't lost control. No,
I
Okay.
saw
no.
the
Yeah.
Democratic caucus had a live press conference this afternoon
Yes.
on the Capitol steps, and I just so happened I caught it as it was happening. And it's like, okay, we need more of this kind of Hakeem Jeffries,
Yes.
not the other kind. We need this kind of Hakeem Jeffries because he was on fire. I mean,
Oh, good.
he was not pulling any punches at all. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what we need, guy. We need y'all all to be just in their face because
Yeah.
that's what they
Exactly.
can't stand. They're
Yeah.
so used to being the bully that
Yes.
when they have somebody turn around and put it back at them in their face, oh my God, they turn into the snowflakes clutching the pearls. They can't handle it.
Yeah.
It
And yeah,
you know
Innocent Potato that said, "Isn't Susie Wild's father some famous sportscaster?"
I
Um,
think he's something. I was just looking it
yes,
up.
yes,
Uh,
absolutely. And I cannot remember his name now. Um, but yeah, and he was not only a famous sportscaster, but he was very much an alcoholic. And she talks about how and especially in the interview when she said that Trump presents Pat Summerall. Thank you, Bernard Malley.
oh yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah, and how she that Trump presents as an alcoholic personality,
Yes.
Hmm.
and
I
I
love
think
that.
yeah, I think that is right, and I think that yeah, she can identify and see the actions. However, being having grown up with an alcoholic father, I think that she's not being totally honest with herself in a lot of the things that she is allowing Trump's alcoholic personality to talk about, that she's not calling out, because I think that in some ways it brings up trauma from her childhood.
It
Well,
probably does,
as
but on the other hand, that
Yeah.
alcoholic personality, sorry for all you alcoholics, but you're all liars. And I think that's what she's saying by that is that, he can't help himself. I mean, the alcoholics do the same thing. I only had one beer and, they had a six pack. It's just the way
or
the
two or
alcohol,
three.
Yeah.
exactly the way alcoholism works. And so
Yes.
I thought that was a great analogy for her to bring it up that way
Mhm.
without she
Well,
wasn't saying, "Oh, he's a liar or he's full of shit." She just said, "No, he's got that alcoholic
Also,
personality." I
yes.
I loved it. I loved it that she said that.
as someone who grew up with an alcoholic, my grandmother was a raging alcoholic and mean with it. She was a mean drunk. Some people are real lovey-dovey and they love everybody and everything when they get drunk. And then you have the other kind that's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, they usually get
Like,
really defensive, Don't tell
Yes.
them I'm not an
yes.
alcoholic.
And,
Are you kidding me? Give me
and
a drink.
I
yeah,
can stop anytime I want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just don't want. So yeah, that kind of thing. But I
And
mean,
yes, he is.
when she said that about him, it was like, oh, that so perfectly
Yeah,
describes how he behaves,
yeah.
despite the fact that he doesn't drink. Or at least that's what I've heard. And I've heard some people come back and say, yeah, he drinks. But over
There's
Yeah,
all
he's
of these
got
assumption.
many
he.
years,
Yeah.
I've never seen him to be as a drinker, maybe a social
No,
drinker.
I don't know. I don't think he's a drinker.
I don't
Didn't
think he
somebody in
drinks at all.
his
His
brother or
brother.
somebody
Yeah.
died of alcoholism?
Yes.
Yeah,
And then somebody said here he was supposedly an addict of other substances.
Yes.
And I
right.
keep hearing that, but what it Adderall or
Adderall.
Adderall,
Yeah.
yeah,
Adderall. Yeah. Absolutely. And that to have that alcoholic personality, it just it doesn't necessarily imply alcohol, right?
right.
That yeah,
Just those
it's just
characteristics.
yes,
Liars.
yes,
BSers.
yes, exactly. Yeah, never met a lie they didn't like, and that's why it's so they struggle so hard for people who have been clean and who have been sober. Every day is a victory for them because it is such a difficult addiction to overcome
absolutely.
Yes.
because
And
it's
Um,
one that
here's
you
somebody in the chat section
yes,
that she says she was a sober for 43 years now.
yes,
Congratulations. Boy, that's not an easy
yes,
thing to
and that's a
do.
every day that my late husband was an alcoholic. He was a recovering alcoholic. And I mean, and that was something that he literally, when he talked about it, it was like, I have to get up every day and say to myself every morning when I get up, I will not drink today. It
yes,
wasn't just a one and done, I'm
yes,
not drinking anymore, and that's it. I don't think about it again. No, it's a daily, sometimes hourly thing that
yes,
you have to literally consistently tell yourself, I will not drink today, or I will not drink now, or I will not
yes.
do drugs, or whatever it is that you're addicted to.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah. And Jason Vincent said, yes, his brother died of kidney disease and a couple other organ failures. And yes, his brother, Fred Jr., was an alcoholic.
yeah,
Um, he supposedly sees alcoholic people as weak people. Um, I've I've heard that mentioned more than once.
many times. Yeah,
So yeah, to him that would be
A
a
weakness.
weakness. But to him, as long as he's not drinking, he's not addicted,
yeah,
right? When
Right.
it's like, hello, anything that you do that is not good for you on a repetitive basis is an addiction. Whether
yeah,
it's
like Big
drugs, whether
Macs
it's
and fries.
alcohol, yeah, whether it's shopping, whether it's gambling, they are addictions. So,
Diet Coke. I
But
mean, you know,
a lot of people see alcoholism as a
yes,
weakness.
yes,
Because they have never been there, they don't know what it's
yeah,
like.
they
I've never been
don't,
there. I'm not a drinker at all, but I have been around a few people that have gone through the process and have been in
yeah,
recovery now for many years, just like this other woman that was on here. Um, and it is something they really have to work at, but
yes,
it's possible to do. I don't see it as a weakness. I see it as a disease. And
and that's
yes,
exactly what it is.
yeah,
Um, and you're either born with the gene that will turn you into an
yes,
addict, or you're not. It's a genetic thing.
yeah,
Some people are born with it, some people are not. Now, does that mean that somebody without that gene can become an addict? Absolutely, because
yeah,
if they abuse a substance long enough, they become addicted to it. And
yes,
that's just
yeah,
biologically the way it works. But
yes, yeah,
well, I
absolutely.
said I don't drink, and I never really liked drinking. But part of me said if I ever started and I did like it, I would be an alcoholic. So
Yes,
I just never got near it.
see, I'm what you would call a social drinker. I can have one or two drinks one or two glasses of wine and I'm fine. That's it. I'm done. It's 2 years before I have another one or something. It just,
Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker. I don't, it tends to make me sick of the stomach, so I don't do it that often.
Yes.
Um, but uh, I mean, I still have a bottle of wine in my fridge that I bought last year for Christmas to celebrate New Year's Eve because I like to add a little Sprite to it and make it a bubbly. And because I'd got some Moscato, it's still in the fridge. It's never been opened. And
Yeah.
then today I won a bottle of wine for evidently the university did giveaway gifts for employees. You know, they just put their name in the hat and whoever came up. And I won a bottle of wine. I was like,
Woohoo!
damn, now I got two bottles of wine in the fridge.
Well,
Yes.
Innocent Potato said I'm addicted to chocolate and tarot readers. So
Yeah, well, there you go. My
Yes.
addiction, I'm addicted to cigarettes. I've got a nicotine addiction.
Yes.
I don't like it and I try to fight it, but there you go. That's my addiction. And it's not an easy thing to fight. It's um I we had a neighbor, God, years and years ago, um a couple about the same age we were. Their son was about the same age as Lewis, and he was completely disabled on disability. And one day he finally had a talk with my husband. We told him why he was disabled. He became a crack addict,
and
and it just destroyed his body to the point that he was incapable of functioning normally anymore. And he was talking to him and he was like, he says, I haven't touched it in I don't remember how many years now. He said, but he says, every day it's like a siren song. He says,
Yes.
I literally will wake up in the middle of the night and hear it calling my name.
Yes.
Come and find me, come and
Yes.
get me. And he's like, and it's the scariest thing in the world because he says, I've woken up from a deep sleep to hear it calling my name. I'm
Yes.
like, I never really thought of addiction that way until he talked about it because
Yes.
I'd never really had an addiction to that degree or been addicted to something that strong and that concentrated that it holds you like that. Um,
Yeah. I
eh,
I can I totally understand that. And just quickly want to say, Wood Sprite, thank you very much for your kind donation. That is very generous of you. And I hope it is
absolutely.
returned back to you a thousandfold. So thank you,
There you
thank you.
go.
I do. When I was a banker way back in the day, I'll tell you how long ago that was. Um, People could
Way
still
back in the day.
people had ashtrays on their desks.
oh yeah, that's a long
Yes,
time
yeah.
ago.
And so you're working and there was a cigarette and that.
It was the
Yeah.
non-smokers that had to go outside if they
Yes.
didn't want to smell cigarette smoke.
Yes. Yeah. And there was one of the ladies that I worked with, Dorothy, who she had at that point, I think she had been a non-smoker for about 18, 20 years. But every once in a while she would go down, excuse me, into the cafeteria where everybody is smoking, and she would come and sit down at the table and just go.
Yeah, yeah,
And she said, yeah. And she would say the same thing. Sometimes, yeah, she would wake up at night and it's like, oh, it's a good thing that I don't have any cigarettes in the house. Otherwise, I'd be lighting one up. So,
yeah.
yeah, it is. Once it has a hold of you, it is difficult
Well, I
to.
smoked
Don't
for
let
years.
go.
I smoked for years and years and years, and I tried to quit every single thing I could think of to try to quit. I couldn't quit.
Yes,
My niece told me about vaping, and that's really the first
yeah,
and she showed me how to do it and how to get the stuff. And so I vaped for a few years, and then vaping became a little bit dangerous for a while. So I just
Yes.
stopped doing that. The weird thing was, is after all those years of vaping and not having cigarettes, as soon as I quit vaping, I craved cigarettes. And I just laughed at the whole thing.
It's
I
the
thought, no
nicotine.
way in hell.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was such a hassle to get rid of it in the first place. There's no way I'm going to do
Yes.
that again. But I thought that was interesting that that's what came back. I hadn't had any cigarettes. So it's been about 15 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy
I
about
quit for
that.
10 years and I could kick myself
Yes.
around the moon and back again for starting back up when I got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
it was
that's the way
more
it
out
works
of
though.
boredom than anything else. And I
Mhm.
started back up thinking, I just
Yeah.
one every now and again. Yeah,
It,
that didn't
you know
last
what?
long.
Yeah, it's like an alcoholic. Well, I'm not going to finish the whole bottle. I'm just going to have a glass. I'm just going to have a drink. And yeah,
It
it goes.
renews the addiction, and there you
Yes. Yeah. It does. It
Absolutely.
does. Yeah.
You're
And
right.
I did.
Vaping is nicotine. That's why it worked. That's why it worked for me to quit. It was you're addicted to nicotine. You're not really addicted to the smoke and all the
Yeah.
No,
carcinogens in there. It's the nicotine. So yeah.
Yeah. And one of the other things happening in the news that I thought was actually very very good news and not somewhat expected. But after the shooting at Bondi Beach,
Oh yeah.
yeah, Australian PM announces crackdown on hate speech and announces a gun buybacks scheme. Now they have Australia has some pretty strict gun laws, just like
yeah,
we do up here in Canada. Um, the idea of making it even stricter and somehow tying it into to hate speech, I think that is one of those things that is necessary. That is very very necessary because
absolutely.
that's how it starts. It starts with you know, an off-color joke at the water cooler, and then
Yeah,
goes to an off-color joke about a particular person, and then
yeah.
it just snowballs until next thing you know, you're out hunting whoever it is that you see as being so different from you that you feel you have to exterminate them.
Wow.
And yeah.
Well, and that's what Hitler did in Germany was, he had
Yes.
to make the other. He had,
Hmm.
he not only had to make the Jews become the other, then he had to degrade them to the point that they weren't even thought of as human beings.
Yes.
They were called vermin
Yes.
and just all kinds of horrible names. And so you get this disassociation in people's brains, that when they saw a Jewish person, they didn't think, oh, that's my neighbor Tom that I've lived next door to for 50 years. No, that was vermin that the planet needed to be wiped clear of. And
Yeah.
it's scary when there are charismatic leaders who can kind of pinpoint that little thing in our brain that clicks and makes everybody think that that's the truth when it's not.
Yes.
Um, I've heard Arnold Schwarzenegger talk about the fact that his father and the gentleman of his father's age, most of them worked for the Nazis there in Austria,
Mhm.
and that after the war was over and they had all accepted defeat and whatnot, of how it had degraded and tore them down. Because once they were removed from that constant bombardment of an atmosphere and could stop and look back at what they had done, most of them were horrified by the fact
Yes.
that they behaved that way. And a lot of them became alcoholics and drug addicts. They beat their wives and their kids and anything to try to kill the pain and the shame of what they had done
Yes.
because they couldn't accept it in their own mind that they allowed somebody to talk them into sinking to that level.
Yes, and it's generally, I mean, something like that doesn't happen overnight, right? It's not
No,
like, you know,
takes years.
today we're okay. It takes, and it's small little doses, you know. You start off with, you know, your friends at work with someone who's, you know, maybe a different race, and let's say maybe they're not quite as qualified as someone else from a different race. And so there it comes time for a promotion and they don't get the promotion. And you know, you kind of commiserate with them and, oh geez, you know what, you've been with this company 5 years longer than, you know, so and so has. You know what, I wonder why they didn't think of you for that promotion and whatnot. And you know, you plant the seed, and then, you know, next
Absolutely.
conversation it's just a little more, and you know, oh well, he must know someone, because that doesn't make any sense to me,
Yeah.
until you start asking yourself questions that are inappropriate, where initially you might have thought to yourself, well, okay, yeah, the reason I didn't get the job is I don't have the certification that so and so does, and if I get the certification, maybe I'll get the job. But until then, no. Until all of a sudden you're thinking, you're looking at the person differently, and you're saying, yeah, you know what? That job was mine. You took that job from me. You're taking money out of my family's mouth, and you make it personal. And before you know it, there is someone that you have a deep resentment for and a deep hatred and so on,
Yeah.
especially when others around you encourage that thinking, which is what Trump has done, with his base. Is he has given them permission to be the most inhumane, vile beings that they can be.
Yeah.
And he's not saying, oh, you guys are the assholes and idiots. He's saying, no, no, you guys are right. It's the brown people. They're the ones. They're stealing your jobs. They're doing this. They're doing
No,
that. And it's not.
no,
It's
not at all.
not. So yeah,
So,
there you go.
not to totally change the subject, but we're
Oh, please
still
do.
talking about idiots. It says I just picked up my phone and there's an article. It says Trump, 79 years old, falls asleep after signing the marijuana executive order. I'm thinking, how he just had to sign the order and it put him to sleep. Uh,
Yes. Yeah.
What did the order say? I missed that
I
one.
don't
So
know. I don't know. Well, I mean, I know that they were trying to reclassify marijuana down
deregulate. Yeah.
to a class 3. This is the first and only thing that I've heard of Trump doing that I totally agree with. But
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they're saying he's now signed it. I don't know. But I know that a lot of Republicans are, well, whoa, 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 wait a minute, wait a minute. We don't want to do that. No, they want to keep screwing around with something like this. I can't remember. There's 40 some states now that are basically legalize it in some sense. I guess some just medically. And I know in
Yes.
Washington State we were far ahead of this thing. It was right after Colorado legalized it. But then we legalized it, and it's never been that much of a problem. The biggest problem is people robbing the pot stores. But as
Yeah.
Yes.
far and I do think that some of the edibles and stuff are
Yes.
a little bit iffy. I'm not not in with that. But the fact of just get rid of this and go ahead, let people smoke pot. To me, it's much
Yeah.
safer than drinking, and
Yes.
it's just not a big
Absolutely.
deal.
Yes.
But I love it that he signs an order about marijuana and then falls
Falls
asleep.
asleep. Falls. Hey, it's about right. Did he actually sign it, or did he use the auto pen?
Oh no, he
Because
said they're never
apparently,
going to use. No, he's never going to use that auto pen. No, he's not going to do that.
no, no. And yes, Red Gypsy says, yeah, it's all legal in Canada. It is.
Oh, it is. I
It
didn't know
is.
that. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And honestly, you want your yeah, if you're under a certain amount, it's considered, personal consumption,
So
And
so does Canada have pot stores all over the place? Like the United
yes,
States? Oh, okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yep,
Well, no
yeah,
wonder,
and
no wonder Canadians are so mellow. How long
hey, yes, and edibles. Yes, you can. There's several stores not too far from me, less than 5 minutes. That yeah, I can go into, and they're very knowledgeable. And I can say, I'm dealing with blah blah blah, or I have, yeah, I can't fall asleep. What do I need? Okay, well, you need some THC. So here's a couple things that you can do. Um, if it's, I've got this thing that I have to go through, and it involves some medical tests, and I'm not really good for that. So, I need to calm down. Oh, well, you need some CBD. So this is what,
Yeah. Well, and what
And
Trump
the
is
fact,
doing, he's declassifying it down to a class
yes,
3 so that there can be more medical testing. This was really a smart thing to do if it actually went through, because yes, there is so many things that marijuana they'll find it that medically can help people that will be much less invasive,
yes,
which some of the medications are right now, with much less adverse reactions. So
yes,
yep.
yeah, I'm all for that. I'm
Well,
just
and
amazed it's taken so long.
from
yes,
an from a growing perspective, they have been able to go in and pull out the different strands, the different types that they can then
yes,
create and pinpoint and grow specific plants that just deal with pain, or just deal
yes.
with anxiety, or just deal with you name it, and they've managed to refine it down to the point where you can walk into a dispensary and
Yes.
say, well, I'm having back issues, or I have PTSD, or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, and then they can pinpoint you to the exact one that's
Yes.
going to deal with that particular thing. Or you can walk in there and say, I don't care, man, I just want to get high. And they can
Yes.
give you that too. So, I mean, once they deregulate it and make it so that it's no different than going to the store and buying a pack of cigarettes. You can
Or
more or
a
less
Yes.
or a
take
bottle of
pick,
Tylenol.
or
That's
Yes.
where
don't
they
get
want
you
to
a
get it down
bottle of
to.
Tylenol.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Um,
mainly
And
just focusing on the medical testing and research into what can we
oh
really do
yeah,
with marijuana. This is really that's a great leap. I'm
absolutely.
surprised he's
Absolutely.
done
All for
anything
it.
that I'm excited. Yeah, that I'm excited about Trump doing. But this one is a good one. However, yes, I do think he's using it as a because people are getting down on him. He's not
Of
a
course.
popular president. So when he does this, he thinks he's going to gain a whole bunch more people. I don't think he's going to gain a bunch
No.
more people, but I think a lot of people feel like I do that he would.
Yes.
We're excited that he's gone ahead and done this. It should have been done a long time ago.
Totally. Totally. Now, Jane McKessie said Brown shooting suspect found dead. I
Wow.
haven't I haven't heard anything on that over the last hour. Of course, why would I? Um, but
no, I heard that they had let loose the person they had originally brought in because
yes,
they had another person of interest they were looking at.
uh, yeah. There's, I mean, you've got, yeah, you've got Cash Patel who's saying, "Oh, no, 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 we got the guy, we got the guy. Oh no, we don't have the guy. No, we're
Cash
looking for
Patel
another guy."
wouldn't know they had the guy if it was living in his butt. So,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, and okay, Hope Suzanne said yes. I saw that on my news feed. Um,
Uh,
I'd be um, I'd be interested to know who this person is, and how this all fits in, because one of the first things when I read that, the first thing that popped into my head was, really? Do they really have the right person? So
oh,
yeah,
oh.
I mean, at this point in time, all they need is a body, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Exactly. They don't care. If they got somebody that's just in the ballpark,
Yeah,
they'll snag whoever
yeah,
semi fits the description, and that's who they'll blame it on. So
yeah,
I think that's what happened to the first guy that they brought in, was somebody that just sort of kind of
yeah.
fit the description, and they said, "Oh, we got our guy." Well,
Yes,
no, not
exactly.
exactly,
Yeah.
but
By the way, whoever said the comment about the pot, legalized pot and Pizza Hut, I loved that.
Don
That was
Turner. Yes.
hilarious.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. All right. Well, you know what? We are just over an hour, and this is fabulous. I'm going to um, I'm going to thank everyone for joining us and spending part of your evening with us. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I do have Cleo and Sherry's information listed below in the description of the video. So yeah, make
please, please,
sure that
please,
you
it's
do that.
free.
Yes, yeah. And before my voice really starts to go, yeah, thank you, ladies, for doing this and for joining me. And in 2 weeks' time,
We'll be
which
back
will
with me.
be which will be in either that will be January 1st, and it will be either with Sherry or it could be with Cleo because
Oh,
you know
yes, it could be. I don't know
it
yet.
could, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I'll put it down for me and Cleo. If you're up for it, just say the word, and I'll
yes,
just
absolutely,
hold off to the next go round.
Okay. Well, I love the
absolutely,
conversation. Whoops. I love the
yes,
conversation we had today. And
yes,
I know went all over the place, and I think we did that before. It kind of went all over the place, but I love that, that we can cover so many different areas, and
yes,
I'm bringing up some
Hmm.
stuff that we haven't really talked about before. So this was really a nice
exactly.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like sitting around a kitchen table with, with our friends. We're having tea. We might be pouring things into our tea, but we're going to have a little bit of gossip. And we're going to talk a little bit smack, and that's okay.
We having
Yeah, that's
spiked
great.
tea.
Yes, absolutely. So take care, everyone. I hope that if I don't see you before the holidays, I hope you have a fabulous holiday season and much prosperity in 2026.
Yes,
So
a
we
Merry
will see
Christmas and a
all.
Happy New Year
Yes.
to
Merry
everybody.
Christmas and
Yes,
happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy
happy
whatever you
everything.
want to celebrate.
Yeah,
Celebrate. Go find you a dispensary and
that's
celebrate.
right. And go for it. All right. And